The following episode of By Identity is rated.
That shit might have worked, when I was under the age of 18, but that don't fly now.
The views expressed are based solely on the opinions and experiences of individuals in the constant process of progress. The use of adult language or content is highly likely. Listener discretion is advised. So, do you think it's a time where you should be defensive versus a time where you should be like, I'm not even wasting the energy in trying to change your mind or trying to address you with the open mind, because it just kind of feels like you're kind of closed-minded and you're going to think what you want to think regardless?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like it, especially if people are coming from a specific background that could be due to a specific religion or how they were raised. Yeah, they're going to come off very close-minded and honestly very ignorant. And at that point, the best you can do, you can either try to meet them halfway, or you can just say, man, that's crazy, and go on about your business. I've come to learn as I've gotten older that not every conversation needs to be had, point blank period, for your sanity and for their sanity. There's an old saying that goes that you should never argue with a crazy person from a distance, or no, you should never argue with a crazy person because from a distance, you can't tell who the crazy person is. And I believe I've said this on a previous podcast, but a lot of people tend to think that when they meet somebody who either shares a different opinion or maybe they're very close-minded, that they can be the person to change them. And that's really not the case. People have to want to change. They have to want to seek the information, and they have to want to be the change, they want to see in the world. It's not up to me. It's not up to you. It's not up to anybody else to try to educate them if they don't want to be educated, and speak to them if they don't want to listen. So, which is why I say that sometimes not every conversation needs to be had. Sometimes it's not worth it to be confrontational, because all it ends up being is just, honestly, a waste of breath and a waste of effort. Yeah.
That's very true. Because I try to find, I guess, the balance between just letting a person think what they want to think, even though it bothers me sometimes, because I know that what they're saying isn't true. And I initially want to defend myself against it. But then it's like, well, why even waste the energy? Because it's not like they're making a statement in a way that suggests they're open to even listening to my side of the story or listening to where I'm coming from. So it's like, well, because of how you came at me or how you reacted, I just kind of feel like it's just a waste of time to even bother going into an explanation in defense of myself or a defense of, how you see the situation. So it's like I don't know, like I'm trying to figure out like when to actually quote unquote defend myself and when to just leave stuff alone. Because my initial reaction is to just be like, okay, and just delete and don't talk to that person again. But then it's like, well, what if, it's really worth the effort? Even though most cases it's not. But, like, what if it is?
For me, it depends on how close the person is to me. Like, say, for example, it is like, a coworker. Maybe a coworker says something that is offensive, and maybe they don't mean it, or maybe they don't know. Then that's when you turn the situation into a teachable moment. You pull them to the side and be like, hey, we're cool. I like you, but what you said, it was not right for reasons Y, X, and Z. And this is how you can change it by doing ways A, B, and C. And just, be very, open to conversation. I'm not saying you have to be overly happy or overly disappointed in that person, but just come with a very educated tone, and that you really want to and that you want to call them out on their behavior, but in a way you do it in a way that's educating them and that can inspire them to make better choices about their words and how they think about certain situations. And it's going to only benefit you because not only are they going to treat, or I shouldn't say treat, but not only are they going to see you in a different light, but they're going to recognize their own behavior So that way, if they maybe encounter a person who may be of a different ethnic origin, religion, blah, 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 they'll know how to address those people with a little bit more tact. And overall, they'll know how to be like less ignorant and stuff.
To listen to the rest of this episode, please go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Anchor.fm. Thanks for your support and stay tuned to the next episode.